girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I'm a beauty enthusiast and consultant who loves to talk about everything dealing with beauty and makeup, and today we are talking about Jaclyn Cosmetics and her collaboration with her mother Robin. And this collection, it kind of spoke to me, and so I did pick up almost everything in the collection. So I did pick up the eyeshadow palette, 2 of the liquid lipsticks, 2 of her eyeliners, 1 of the lip liners, the setting spray, and then her, what she calls her go viral powder. So we will be demoing all of these products in this video. I will be sharing with you my thoughts and if I think they are worth your buy, and that's it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it, and let's get right into this video. So this collection really kind of spoke to me, and that's why I picked it up, because when I saw the collection, I was like, okay, that's cute, okay. And then I did watch Jaclyn's reveal video, and it just, like, at one point watching the video, I started to become very emotional, almost teary-eyed, listening to just, you know, her love for her mother, things that her mother has done for her, and like believing in her to even start her career and so forth. And it just made me think about my mother. It made me think about me being a mother, and I don't know, it just made me feel like, you know what, let me get this for myself as like a gift to myself. And I want to put out there, if you're watching this anywhere near Mother's Day, if you are a mother, happy Mother's Day to you. If you are an aspiring mother, go ahead and say happy Mother's Day to you, because it's gonna happen and you will be a mother one day. If you are grieving your mother, if you are struggling with your mother, if you just don't do Mother's Day and you're just kind of like, oh, I just wish this day would just like come and go, then at least maybe potentially receive a very tight hug from me, because I do love you, and even if you're not here for Mother's Day, you can just be here for a little makeup, okay? Okay, so let's start off with the eyeshadow palette. So this eyeshadow palette does retail for $49. I did pick up all of my products from Ulta. If you were to pick up this eyeshadow palette from Jaclyn Cosmetics, you can get a limited edition packaging that has her and her mom on it, and on the back of it, it has like all of these different mothers, and it's a collage of just all of these mothers that she knows. It's really beautiful. And then when you open it up on the inside, it's got her and her mother with like a special message. I picked up this one from Ulta. That one is not at Ulta. I was fine with this one. I think the packaging is quite pretty. Nice sturdy cardboard. And then inside are some very neutral toned, some cool toned types of eyeshadows. Jaclyn said this eyeshadow palette really was a collaboration, because this looks more like her mother than it does her. And I will admit, like, when I saw the eyeshadow palette, I was just like, okay, this is nothing like groundbreaking, but it's nice. It could be like a really nice everyday eyeshadow palette. So let's get into this eye look. I first started off with the shade called, well, first let me tell you all this. I first went in with a completely different eye look. I did not like how the look turned out. I don't think it was anything dealing with the shadows. It was just the way that the look was going. I didn't like it. With that being said, I was able to try out a lot of the cooler toned eyeshadows. So when I say cooler tone, I'm talking about this shade Buddy, TC, what shade is this called? Small Town, and I used the black. And I didn't like the, like I said, I didn't like the way that the eye look came out, but I did try those cooler tones, and I will say against my complexion, they showed up quite nicely. Like, they did look nice and cool toned, but they didn't look too cool toned to where I looked like I had a black eye, or like, you know, I look dead, you know, because it's too cool toned for my complexion. But they are very true cool tone types of shades. So I just wanted to put that out there. But for today's look, I first went in with the shade called Pinky Butter, and this was a nice transition shade for my complexion. Then I went in with Farm Girl, and this one was, it showed up a little bit more than the shade Pinky Butter. But once again, a great transition shade for me. Both of these shades blended out really nicely, no issues with them. Moving along. So then I went in with the shade called Apple Pie. This one is a really beautiful caramel-like type of tan shade. That shade I thought blended really nicely into the crease of my eye. And after that, what shade did I go in with? Oh, I went in with Moo, this green shade. And so the green shade, I like greens, and I went in with this shade. I thought it blended nicely. I did have to build up this shade to get some intensity, and initially I was just like, okay, is it the formula? Is it the brush that I'm using? And then I thought back to, you know, if this palette really was inspired by her mother. Most more mature women don't want eyeshadows that are like very intense on their eyelids. They like shadows that can be built up. So I will say the shade Moo did build up nicely, but it didn't come out with like a punch of color, but it did build up. So I'll say that. So then after the shade Moo, and if I go out of order, y'all watch me over here, because y'all know I be forgetting the order of what I be doing. And I'm sure I'm gonna forget in this one. Maybe I won't, but maybe I will. So after Moo, I think I went in with the black shade called Because I Said So. Now this black is intense, and it is black and you don't need a lot, and I was very happy about that. So I went in with this black shade, and I just put that right on the outer edge of the eye. I did concentrate Moo also toward the outer edge of the eye, and I also used Moo and Because I Said So on the lower lash line. But like I said, really enjoyed the black in this palette. Like, she did this black very well, blended out very nicely, no issues with it. And I would say definitely go like work in small amounts, because you can build this black shade up very quickly, maybe a little too faster, maybe too fast than what you're wanting. So then after that, I went in with the shade called Tootsie, and I really enjoyed this green shade. It's once again not as intimidating as it might look in the pan. So once again, put the shimmer on, it blended really nicely on the eye. You could also build up intensity, but it's nothing like glaring and daring and like too much, you know? But I do like the way it looks. And I'm gonna say, I have had these eyeshadows on now for over 12 hours, all right? So I'm gonna let me finish eye look and I'll come in so you can see what it looks like. Let me not get ahead of myself. Then I went in with Family AF, put that right along the center of the eye just to add some dimension to the eye look, and I really like these two shades together. And then for the inner corner of the upper lid and lower lash line, I went in with the shade called Honey. Oh no, this is Apple Pie. This is Pudding Girl. So sorry. This shade is Pudding Girl. This is called Honey. This is called Apple Pie. So went in with Apple Pie, and I really enjoy how this whole eye look came out. So let me come in close so you can see what these are looking like after about 12 hours. So looking at the eyeshadows, I think these eyeshadows held up really nicely for like 12 hours of wear. I will say I did add a little bit of the black along the lower lash line just to make the look a little more fresh. I've had this whole face on for about 12 hours, so I did touch up like right along the lower lash line, but I didn't do anything on the upper lids. I also didn't put an eye primer on at all. So I feel like these shadows held up very nicely. Very, very nicely. And I will admit, after I initially used the palette, I was just kind of like, I wasn't really wowed. I wasn't disappointed. Like, this palette is okay. And I will say this, I think this formulation is really nice, and it is really great for someone who is not used to eyeshadow at all. And so you need eyeshadows that are gonna play nicely with you when you're not really sure how to work with the shadows. The formulation is very easy to work with. And like I said, any of these shades, you can build up the intensity of them, but they're not gonna come off too stark, except for the black. Like the black, start off slowly because you can build it up a lot. But none of these other shades are gonna be like overly intimidating, too much, like none of that. I also think this does work well for maybe someone who has more mature eyelids, because you don't have to worry about the formulation being too chalky, or that's gonna skip along like more mature eyelids. Like for my eyelids, I do have some creases and some folds, and they did blend really nicely, even into my creases. Like sometimes, depending on the eyeshadow, I do have to lift up my eyelid to make sure that the color gets in between all of the creases. And I think this formula does blend well into the creases quite nicely. And then looking at the eyeshadows and how they held up throughout the day, I was like, you know what, this is a nice eyeshadow palette. So if you've got multiple eyeshadows, I'm very confident that you probably have these shades and formulas like this. But I do think this is a really nice, like standard, solid eyeshadow palette. And I think if you're interested in this palette, you're interested in this formulation, it is nice. I do like it. And I think for me, I could see myself reaching for this palette again. Like I said, it's not gonna be a palette that's like, oh my gosh, groundbreaking, the best formulation I've ever tried, or you know, anything that's like, oh my gosh, you have to run out and get it. But like, this is solid. It is very solid. So I'm actually like, at the end of the day, I'm like, okay. I filmed my April favorites, and while I was editing that video, I was like, that eye look, she's cute. And like I said, now sitting down, I'm like, wow, these shadows held up. I put on no eye primer, no nothing. I just put these eyeshadows on my lids and like, let's see how they hold up. And like I said, I'm very happy that they held up really nicely. And the shimmers are very smooth, very, very smooth. So I'm gonna swatch the shimmers so you can see them. I'm not gonna swatch the matte shades simply because I know there's a lot of videos out and you probably have already seen them be swatched. But here are the shimmers. They're just very smooth and soft. And so I think these would work really nicely for people who do have more mature eyelids. You don't have to worry about the shimmers, you know, maybe being too gritty or too much for creases and folds or anything like that. And then if you don't have more mature eyelids, you know, it's gonna work quite nicely for you as well. But like, very nice, standard, soft shimmers. Really enjoy that. Then let's get into the liquid lipsticks. I love Jaclyn Hill's liquid lipsticks, like love them. I have 5 now with adding these two to my collection. So I picked up the shades Love and Sweetheart. So I'm wearing both of them, and I'm also wearing the lip liner. So I picked up the lip liner in Love. I picked up the shade Love in her lip liner, and one of you all were like, oh my gosh, Chelsea, her lip liners are so slept on. They're the best thing ever, because the formulation lasts so long. So this is the shade Love, and I really do like this shade. I've been wearing all 3 of these products like multiple times by now, because I've had this collection for a good week or so now. So I put the lip liner on, and then I went in with the shade Sweetheart in the middle. So a lot of these, or I would say more of these, the shades in these liquid lipsticks are a little more cool, and I feel like it matches the tones of the eyeshadow palette. So this is Sweetheart, so a nice kind of bubblegum pink shade, but it's a little cooler. So that's what's on the center of my lips. And then I took the shade Love and put it like right here, 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 and here, and kind of blended it into Sweetheart to get this look here. I really enjoy shade Love. I've worn Love a few times. Like, I really like the shade Love. So here's the shade Love in the liquid lipstick. And so all 3 of them together, I think, created such a beautiful pout. And I really do enjoy these shades. So I love the liquid lipstick formula because they do truly last like all day. And they're not so uncomfortable either. Of course, they dry down to a matte finish, but I don't ever feel like I have the liquid lipsticks on after they dry down. And like I said, they last a very long time, just hardly no transfer at all. And it's interesting because like I swatched these shades earlier when I was talking about my April favorites, and I went to go wash them off. So I got a makeup remover cleanser, and I put the cleanser on, tried to wipe it off. These liquid lipsticks were like Okay, you're gonna have to come with something a little bit more tough than that. So for these, I need to use my eye makeup remover by Neutrogena to actually get it off, because they just don't budge. Like, soap's not taking them off, and your standard makeup remover, it's not taking it off in terms of like cleansers. So very long lasting, comfortable to me on the lips. So I love, love, love them. Okay, then I wanted to pick up 2 of the eyeliners. So at first I wasn't gonna get the eyeliners, but when I was watching her reveal video, there were 2 shades that I wanted to try. The first shade was the shade Smooth Black Brown. So her mom was saying how she always wanted like a black brown eyeliner, and she could never find one on the market the way that she wanted it to look. So she always found herself mixing a black eyeliner and then she put a brown one on top. So she wanted to create this. And so this is the black brown eyeliner. And I was like, I have to have this because I love nothing more than a brown eyeliner. Like, that is my eyeliner of choice. And I usually only wear a black eyeliner if I'm trying to go for a very dark, vampy, like intense eye look. But for basically my standard eye looks, I will go for a brown eyeliner. However, there's certain times where like, for like this eye look, I wanna go for like a black, but I don't wanna be so intense, but a brown may not be intense enough. So the black brown is where it's at. So I am wearing the black brown eyeliner. I feel like some of it has worn off some, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more just to intensify it. But I will say, the eyeliner is still there. It's not as intense, but this eyeliner is still there. So this eyeliner does last for a nice amount of time. It also is quite pigmented, doesn't irritate the eye. It glides on quite nicely. So I'm very excited to have this one because I was just like, yes, even though I did not mix black and brown eyeliners, I completely understood what her mom was talking about. And I was like, that's something I need. And then my favorite blogger, Christian Blair Vorty, she received this collection because she and Jaclyn are friends. And she was saying how much she really enjoyed this reddish eyeliner called Blackberry, Smooth Blackberry. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I have an eyeliner like that. Well, let me give it a try. So this is Smooth Blackberry, and I have actually worn it before in the waterline, and I really like it. Like, it adds just a nice little flair to it. Nothing that's like overly dramatic. If you're looking at me from afar, you probably won't notice it, but if you come up close, especially if I have an eye look that will complement this eyeliner, it's like, oh, what is that in your waterline? Like, it's nice. Like, I really like it. And if you look at these two together, you can see the differences in tone, but I also like this, that this is still a little more muted. It's nothing aggressive, nothing too much. Doesn't look like my eyes are bleeding, but it does give your eye look like a little, just a little something. So I really like these eyeliners. I think she did those very well. Okay, so let's get into this powder, because I have worn this powder before, and I do want to do a little comparison because y'all know I like to be comparing things, okay? Okay, so this is Jaclyn's and Robin's Powder Move Loose Setting Powder. I got mine in sheer medium. It does come in 6 shades, retails for $30. And she says that this is a powder that's going to blur and smooth the appearance of skin while setting makeup with a soft focus finish and subtle radiance. Good for skin ingredients like squalene, help lock in moisture, while a key amino acid and aloe deliver a silky feel while calming the skin. So what intrigued me about this powder was Jaclyn was like, this powder will go viral on TikTok. Like, it's gonna be that powder. And I'm like, well then I need to try it. And when I saw like the ingredients, like the first ingredient is mica, it made me think of the Rare Beauty powder because I love this powder, and I love it because it sets the makeup but it leaves a radiant finish. So I want to compare the two to see, are they similar? Is one more blurring than the other? And even though I'm not giving you a full day wear test, I have worn both of these powders more than once, so I will share with you my thoughts as to how I feel they compare and like the wear of them. So first I'm gonna go in with Jaclyn's powder. So this is what the powder sheer medium looks like. Let me swatch it on the arm real quick so you can see it. So this, let's put it right here. So this is sheer medium. And so this blends very nicely against my complexion. I don't have on any powder. I am wearing the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm powder, but I don't have on like any additional powder on top. So let's take it, we'll apply it right here. And then we'll blend it in. And I'll take a little bit more. This is the La Mer powder brush, if you're wondering. And we'll blend it. And that does look really nice, beautiful, and soft. I will say that it is blurring to the pores, like I'm looking up close at my pores. Granted, blurring balm powder is also blurring my pores, but I did have like a nice little, just a little, you know, radiance to the face, like nice natural radiance to the face. And I do feel like this side does look nice and smooth, just a little bit more flawless than this side does without any additional powder. Okay, so now let me go in with my Rare Beauty powder. I have this shade Light Medium, and I'll swatch it next to the Jaclyn Hill powder. So let's put it right here. So this is the Rare Beauty powder in Light Medium. And, okay, we got it. So this is the Rare Beauty powder in Light Medium, and then we have the Jaclyn Cosmetics powder in Sheer Medium. And so the Rare Beauty one is gonna be a little lighter. So I'm gonna go in with the BK Beauty 102 brush and just add some right here. So I'm gonna come in close so you all can take a look at both sides of the face and you can tell me what you think. So you all take a look. We've got Jaclyn's on this side and then Rare Beauty on this side. Okay. Of course, leave this down in the comment section. I wish this was real time so we could have a dialogue. But leave me down in the comment section what side you think looks more smooth and looks better. I'm gonna have to say, I think Jaclyn's side looks just a tinge more like smooth. Right along here, looks a little more smooth than like right here. Yeah, it looks a little more smooth. I do see radiance coming from both sides of the face because both of them are a more radiant type of powder, but I think Jaclyn's does take the win for smoothness. You guys let me know down in the comment section. Okay, and like I said, I have worn this powder before. I do think it does set the face very nicely. It held my makeup quite well. So I do think this is a good powder if you are looking for a setting powder, but you also want something that's going to be smoothing, blurring, and you don't want something that is going to take the radiance away from your face. I do think this is a good one. And, excuse me, I don't find that this is going to look, it's not going to make your face look oily at the end of the day because there's so much radiance coming from the powder. So I do think it's nice. I feel like if you have the Rare Beauty powder, I feel like this one is close enough to Jaclyn's to where you absolutely, well actually I don't know, because I keep looking at my face and I'm like, yo, this side is smooth, like smooth. I mean, I keep looking at my face and I'm like, yo, this one by Jaclyn, I mean, it is smooth and radiant, but like not too radiant. It is nice. I will say the powder out of everything that she released, this powder and the lip products are like my favorite. I'm just gonna tell you, those are like my favorite. If you're wondering, those are my favorite. I think she did those very, very nicely. Okay, and then lastly, we have the setting spray. So the setting spray is It's called the All Set Setting Spray. It says lock in your look with this refreshing and setting facial spray. It says this is a super fine facial mist that's gonna prime, set, condition, and protect your skin with a nourishing blend of lavender oil, coconut oil, seawater, peppermint oil, and moringa oleifera seed extract with a natural finish. And so you're supposed to shake it up and then spray. So I'm gonna do it right here. I have already used this before, so I'll share with you my thoughts. So you definitely smell lavender. This has a quite nice calming spray. Like this reminds me of something I would spray on my face in the evening, like after I do my skincare, and I would spray this on to kind of give me the sense of like calming sensation, getting ready for bed because of the lavender. That's what it smells like to me. I really enjoy this smell. Like, I heard, I think it's Allie Dawson. I think that's her name. She said it reminded her of a spa, like what a spa smells like. And I was like, absolutely have to agree with that and to that. The setting spray, I think it's nice and I like it. It's definitely not a need. Like, I feel like it set my makeup. It held it. I can't lie. I've been using Blurring Balm Powder by Danessa Myricks. I don't ever have to set that at all. So I've been using this. I've used it a couple times, but I haven't used it like with other, if I could say, traditional foundations to see how long it preserves my makeup. Not a need, but I like it. I will say I like it, and I primarily like it because of the scent. But when it does dry down, like as you can see, my face does not look excessively oily, doesn't look dewy or anything like that. So it definitely is like, if I could say, a standard setting spray. I think if you have oily skin, you could really enjoy this because it's not gonna leave your face looking oily and dewy or anything like that. And I feel like when it does set, like I feel like I can kind of feel it locking things in place. If you've tried the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, that setting spray is like one of the best setting sprays I've ever tried, because when that joker set, I legit felt like it went like this to my face. Like it just gave me like a little bit of a tightening effect, and I felt like it did like lock and seal things into place. I kind of feel the same thing with this setting spray. Like it has already dried on my face. Like it does not feel tacky at all. And I feel like I can just feel things like going, just like lock into place. So I do think it does work. And it sets the face. I think it will hold and prolong the makeup, but it's not a need in the sense of, if you've got the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, then you've already got what you need. If you have a setting spray that you really enjoy, locks in your makeup, preserves your makeup, then I don't think this is like, once again, a run out and get it type of product. But I do think it's nice. I am going to continue to use it because I do like, you know, this natural finish that I do have. I feel like this would just be one that I would reach for, especially if I want something that's like nice and kind of like aromatic in the scents that I smell. I think, you know, I would really enjoy that for that as well. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and this review. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comment section below. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.